And it's time to start. Okay. Order. Order. Good. Shalom, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Hello. Yeah. Let us start. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you. If I haven't seen you, if I haven't greeted you, brilliant. Welcome, everyone at home. And the main event tonight is that Truth and Virgil are celebrating their silver anniversary. It took 25 years to reach to that point in time. Where is Virgil now? No, come on the bima. Come and sit on the bima. Please, let's light the candles.
by which to live. Lead us to take the words which we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives. Yeah. How would it longer? Yes, you've got. Yeah. There we go. Shiloh. Sorry. I'll be going outside.
Rory, I invite you to do the blessing for the candles. We'll come back to Lech Lech afterwards, okay? We will come back to Lech Lech right after. Rory, if you can sing the blessing for us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vetzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Blessed are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. So please join us on the bima. Please join us on the bima. It's been a while since your batis, bar and batis. Well done. And let's sing the opening song, which is Lech Lech, go forth to you, as God is instructing Sarah and Abraham to take the journey against all odds, a journey that they do not know, to a land you do not know. And each one of us who have taken journeys in our life know that feeling. So please, Lech Lech.
To a land that I will show you. Lech Lecha, to a place that you do not know. Lech Lecha, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. And I shall make your name great. Lech Lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lech Lecha, to the place that I will show you. L'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim,
Page 128, we find some verses from the Song of Songs. And it is a tradition before the entry of Shabbat to read those lines from Song of Songs. In some communities, the whole scroll of Song of Songs is read as a preparation for the entry of Shabbat. 128, Dodi li va'ani lo, Haroeh b'shoshanim, my beloved is mine, and I am my beloved's. Who browses among the lilies? Who is that comes up from the desert in clouds of myrrh and frankincense? You have captured my heart, my sister, my bride. Awake, O north wind, come, O south wind, Uri, Tzafon, Uvoi, Teiman. And with that, we move to the Psalm section 130, Psalm 95. Come, let us sing joyously to God. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Continue in page 132. First, we'll read the English for Psalm 96, then we'll read the Hebrew and sing the song from Psalm 97, 132. Sing to God a new song, sing to God all the earth, sing to God, bless God's name, proclaim God's victory day after day. Tell of God's glory among the nations, God's wondrous deeds among all people. For the Eternal One is great and much acclaimed. God is held in awe by all divine beings. All the God of the people are mere idols, but the Eternal One made the heavens. Glory and majesty are before God, strength and splendor are in God's temple. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult, let the sea and all within it thunder, the fields and everything in it exult. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of the Eternal One, for God is coming. God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly, and its peoples with faithfulness. Adonai malach tagel haaretz ismechu im rabim anan va'arafel sevivav tzedek u'mishpat mechon kis'o ohavei Adonai sineora shomer nafesho חסידיו מיד רשעים יצילם עוזרו על הצדיק ולשרי לב שמחה. To you, Rory, עוזרוע, 132 at the bottom.
צדיק ולישרי לב שמחה. עוזרו על הצדיק ולישרי לב שמחה. ולישרי לב שמחה. עוזרו על הצדיק ולישרי לב שמחה. ולישרי לב שמחה. עוזרו לצדיק ולישרי לב שמחה. עוזרוה לצדיק ולישרי לב שמחה. עוזרוה לצדיק ולישרי לב שמחה. ולישרי לב שמחה. עוזרוה לצדיק ולישרי לב שמחה. ולישרי לב שמחה.
Thank you. We continue on 134. הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ, פיצחו ורננו וזמרו, זמרו לאדוני בכינור וקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר. הריעו לפני המלך אדוני. Raise a shout to God all the earth, break into just songs of praise. Sing praying to God with a lyre and melodious songs. With the trumpets and the blast of the horn, raise a shout for God the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the river clap their hands, and the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of the Eternal One. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly, and its peoples with equity. And finally, Psalm 29, page 136, 137. Mizmor David, Avul Adonai b'nei Elim, Avul Adonai kavod va'oz, Avul Adonai kavod Shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, el kavod yireim, Adonai, Adonai, al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai ve'hadar, Kol Adonai shover azim, Vaishaver Adonai et arzei halevanon, Vayakidem kemo egel Levanon veSirion kemo ben remim, Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel layalot, ויחשוף יערות ויחלו כולו מהכבוד, אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. May God give strength to his people, may God grant his people peace. Friends, before we are moving to the Lech Hadodi, as we are welcoming the Shabbat in 138, 139, I prepared a poem I'd like to share with you, and this is the time of the year when we are moving in the next week from the month of Av to the month of Elul. And Elul, Ani ledodi v'dodi li, I am for my beloved, and my beloved is to me. That's the acronym. Elul is the month of opening the heart and the month of preparation to the high holidays. And what I'd like to bring to you in before Lech Hadodi during this 5 weeks we have left till Rosh Hashanah is part of the special liturgy of this time of the year, liturgy which is being sang or recited in the synagogues, usually early in the morning. And I'd like to start with the most classic of all these tunes, Ben Adam Ma Lecha Nirdam, oh man, woman, why do you asleep? Wake up, rise up, with voice of plea. This is a translation by Rabbi Nancy Flam. Let me read to you the translation. Oh man and woman, why do you still asleep? Rise up, voice your pleas. Pour out your words and seek forgiveness from the Master of all. Wash yourself clean. Do not wait for many days to go by. Quickly seek help from the one who dwells beyond within. Flee from all wrongdoings and fear their unintended consequences. God, please hear the praise of your people who faithfully call your name. You are the source of all that is right, and we are truly humbled. Rise up and be strong and take courage, so you may confess all your failings. Seek God with reverence and find atonement. In this realm of the Spirit, wonders never cease. Every word which is said will be received. The compassionate one will have compassion on us, as parents do toward their kids. You, God, the source of all that is right, and we are truly humbled. Lecha Adonai, Hatzedakah, Velanu, Boshet Hapanim. So with that beginning of preparation toward the seasons of high holidays, we are on page 138, 139. Let's conclude the week, put it to rest, whatever we achieved or didn't achieve. Make space for the Shabbat to come, celebrate with two of you, celebrate with all of us. Couples that are to be. Lech Hadodi, come my beloved.
Lech Hadodi, likrat kala, v'neshama.
Jess, what's the name of the original song? Jess, what's the name of the original song?
Sikalela.
That's what I
Iswela
thought.
kithi.
Sikalela. Okay. Ori, 140, a song for the Shabbat.
משמו שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון, להגיד בבור כחסדך, ואמונתו בלילות, עלי אסף, עלי נובל, עלי היגיון בכינור. משמו שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך רנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. משמו שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון.
The righteous bloom like a dead palm, they thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the Eternal One's house, they flourish in our God's courts. In old age, they'll see produce fruit, they are full of sap and precious, attesting that God is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Tzaddik katamar ifrach, still in 140.
Tzaddik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach. Erez ba'avanon yizkeh, erez ba'avanon yizkeh, erez ba'avanon yizkeh, yizkeh. Erez ba'avanon yizkeh, erez ba'avanon yizkeh, erez ba'avanon yizkeh, Shtulim bebet bebet Adonai, shtulim bebet Adonai, bechatzot Eloheinu, bechatzot Eloheinu, bechatzot Eloheinu, yafrichu, bechatzot Eloheinu, bechatzot Eloheinu, bechatzot Eloheinu, yafrichu. Odienun beribun beseba, odienun beseba, Leshenim verananim, Leshenim verananim, Leshenim verananim, Iyu, Leshenim verananim, Leshenim verananim, Leshenim verananim, Iyu. Hakit ki yashar Adonai, hakit ki yashar Adonai. Zuri velo avlatabo, 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 zuri velo avlatabo.
I'm reading in 145, the English, then we'll go back to the Aramaic, pray in 144. Let's first I invite you to read with me 145. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, for the mystery of withered leaf, on the ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew days, lest my day be today as the one before, as routine set my ways. The Reader's Kaddish 144 in the Aramaic language, please rise. That will lead us to the Baruch Hu, Rory, and then Jess.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יש מרבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעולמה ואמרו אמן.
Jess. 146. Seated. I'm reading in 149 top, the version for the evening service, 149 top. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide and time of flight. You guide the current of day into night, as heaven spans to infinity. You set its course for eternity. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv ha'aravim. 150. Ahavat olam Beit Israel, Amcha ahavta, Torah ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, על כן, אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. 152, 153, the recitation of faith, the Shema Israel. I invite you to cover our eyes, Shema, based on the hearing, and let us hear one another, hear the eternal one, the eternal Tao, as we recite together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malachuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
154, 155. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children and recite them when you stay at home and when you're away. When you lie down and when you get up, bind them as a sign on your hand and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. 155. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. 158. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? מי כמוך.
מי כמוך, לא אלים אדוני, מי כמוך, נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, עושה פלא. מי כמוך, לא אלים אדוני, מי כמוך, נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים, צאלים אנו יאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך, לא אלים אדוני, מי כמוך, נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, עושה פלא, עושה פלא.
Thank you. 161 top, 161 top, please join me. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Eternal One, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Blessed are you, Eternal One, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all of your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים, ושמרו, the people of Israel shall keep the Shabbat, 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, וינפש.
So we're moving now to the Amidah prayer, which is in page 1, starting page 164. And here we are. Let me just talk about the schedule. This week we are celebrating the silver anniversary of Ruth and Virgil. Next week we are celebrating with Levi, who's getting better all the time. And the week after we are celebrating with Kim and Matt, their wedding. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that the parents are here. Wait, are you the parents who got married here? These are the parents who got married here some years back. Say it again? But who counts? 40 years walking in the desert. Good. So I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're back. And this is yeah. I also married a sister, by the way. I also married a sister, Kelly. Yeah. Come, Kim and Matt, come honor us with opening and closing the ark. 164. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Please rise. Adonai, שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אמן. 168. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה המתים, אמן. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש, אמן. 172. אתה קידשת את יום השביעי לשמך, תכלית מעשה שמיים וארץ, וברכתו מכל הזמנים, וקידשתו מכל הימים, וכן כתוב בתורתך. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם. ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו. כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ויצא במנוחתנו. קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך. שרנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך. וטהר ליבנו וטהר ליבנו וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. וטהר ליבנו וטהר ליבנו וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך ונוחו ישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. 175 רצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, שותך לבדך, ביראה נעבוד. You are our God whom alone we serve. In reverence, Modim 176.
מודים אנחנו לך שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו לעולם ועד. צוקיינו מגן ישנו. צוקיינו מגן ישנו. אתה הוא לדור ודור, לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך שבכל ערב בבוקר וצהריים, ערב בבוקר וצהריים. הטוב כי לא חלו רחמך, והמרחם כי לא תמו חסדיך מעולם. קיווינו לך, קיווינו לך. קיווינו לך.
And final blessing 178. Grant abundant peace. Shalom Rav. To you, Rory.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael, Amcha tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל Shalsha Beshlomecha Baruch atah Adonai Hamevarech et amo Yisrael Vashalom. Amen.
So, maybe not the next one, I'll bring in service to you. Okay. Silver anniversary will be in 2047. Well, invite me. I'll come from the village. I'll come from the village, but I did not be in the village. Then everyone will be bigger. It's good to make plans. Fashion a pure heart for me, O God, and create in me a steadfast spirit. Do not cast me out of your presence. Do not take your Holy Spirit away from me. Let me again rejoice in your help, and let the vigorous spirit sustain me. As my mouth declares your praise, help me to put these prayers into practice. Open up my lips and my heart, eternal God. May the word of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, God, my rock and my redeemer. I invite all of you now to make a wish. May the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable, O God, our rock and our deliverer. Make a wish. Yes. Yes.
Yuliratzon imrefi ahed yon libi lefanecha Adonai Zuri Adonai Zuri Adonai Zuri Adonai Zuri
Amen. May those who sow in tear will reap in joy. So now we are moving to the Mishaberach, and the words are in page 511. And we pray for renewal of body and renewal of spirit in this messed up, miserable and tired world, whatever there is sickness and pain, which is practically everywhere. That we experience in our first circle and second circle and third circle, whenever there are. This week, I'm thinking, as you may know, yesterday we've heard about the passing of Carol Alexander. And this is one of those cases when Peter Alexander, the father, was sick for a while. He wasn't well. I visited him in hospital. And Carol was the person who cared for him. and it's still not well. Peter is still not well, but now Carol has gone and it was rather sudden. So I'm thinking about him, how it's going to work even, how it's even going to work. At least he's in Rankes and it's fun. We have people in other facilities, in Sandringham Gardens, Jaime Jukum and others. And we love everyone and we send them love and we visit as we're able. And the care committee is visiting, which I greatly appreciate. And we should be visiting more, and we should be visiting more and thinking more about the people who are sick. So if you'd like to mention name for anyone, renewal of spirit, renewal of body, other than those who are in the list, please mention it, please. Just to say, I spoke with Gidi Leaf earlier. She's in high spirit. She's a good spirit. She's in really good spirit. And I wish everyone who struggle with disease to have her conviction. Very inspiring and impressive. Okay, Mishabera, 511.
Mishebera Havateinu Makor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebeirach Ematenu Mekor habracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Thank you. Friends, the sermon today divided to three. On the first part, I'm going to share with you some things from Limud last week. On the second part, I'm going to say a few words on the weekly parasha shortly. And the third part, we are going to give a blessing to Ruth and Virgil. So last week, I was privileged to partake in the Limud weekend. I was there for the whole weekend. So first, I'd like to thank Professor Mel Williams, who took the service last week, Friday, and Alistair and Tabani and Max, who took the service on Saturday morning, and all the readers, because there were several people who were doing the reading for the Torah, in the Torah for the first time, and we are encouraging people to partake and to practice the reading of the Torah. And once a month, we are having a lay reader's Torah, other than myself reading the Torah. So that with much appreciation. And thank you for the people who stepping in and making the point that you don't, as much as we are happy to have the rabbi, the lay readers, the lay leaders as well can take the service successfully enough. There were a lot of people from our community. Judy was with me, Leonard was there. There was like so-and-so people from our community, and even so-and-so for the general progressive community. And it's a very important space because it's one of the only spaces in which progressive and Orthodox and unaffiliated come together and join together. And because the Orthodox rabbis don't come, and because you see more and more people from the fallen ranks of the Glen Hazel community, the fallen ranks of Orthodox, no people from Johannesburg coming, And they're very curious about me and about us. So a lot of encounters, a lot of opportunities during the sessions and outside to talk, to connect, to communicate, to see that the differences are not as they are seemed, and to overcome that heritage of separation between the progressive community and the Orthodox community. That's very important for all of us. As for the program, I really stand in awe to the work of the volunteers, in which one of the main volunteers is our Wayne Sussman, to put together such a diverse program with all the realms, social and cultural and Israel and everything, you name it, with all things included. And I'm really, really appreciating it. Very interesting. And I was participating in one panel about community building with a lady from the UK, with a person from Israel, and with a person from Hungary. So this is really different context, but the idea of community building is something that we all share, and the need to build community. It doesn't matter what context, whether you are in the UK or in Israel or in Europe, Central East Europe, you know, the former, not Soviet, but under communist regime. And me here in South Africa, communities of Jews, and the need to build communities and the challenges are give or take the same. And then it brings me to the international. So indeed, people who come from Central Europe are the exception, but let's say that the big diasporas, America and the UK, and obviously Israel were well represented, and it's very interesting and very valuable for us to hear what's happening in the other diasporas, what they are dealing with, what are their challenges, and where are we vis-a-vis those questions. This is very, and now I'm saying it on the background that South African Jews were secluded, and during apartheid years and even later, there's like what's happening in South Africa was very much its own universe. There wasn't much communication, even more. Those, if you were in Cape Town, you were in Cape Town. If you were in Joburg, you were in Joburg. Erwin came to teach the conversion class on Wednesday, so I learned something new, that until the 60s, Cape Town had its own chief rabbi, and Joburg has its own chief rabbi, based on the fact that it used to be Transvaal, used to be a different country to the Cape. So obviously, you know, with such a separation and provincial, here we are coming together and joining forces with Jews from all over the world. And some of those international guests were progressive, Rabbi Rachel Pass, and it was very interesting to hear from her, and Anat Hoffman from the Israeli Religion Action Center and the Women of the Wall. So that's, again, very interesting and very relevant for South African Jews to hear what's going on in Israel, what's going on, and, you know, kind of, I'm aware that many South African Jews have a very romantic view about Israel. It's important that you will read the news, be connected to what's happening, and see Israel for what it is, a place on earth with many issues, with many challenges. You know, we can help them, they can help us. We all need to help one another and to hold the stamina, to hold the weight of the challenges of our time. The highlight for me was the Tish on midnight. It's like, I don't know, it's like the 5th or 6th time I'm doing the Tish, but it's always different. So midnight, now, because of the Orthodox, you cannot play the guitar. So you have to prepare a program when you can do only with your voice, of a teaching and Hasidic tunes together with other people. And that's a rich program. The low light of my weekend was, be honest with you, my lack of ability to resist the food. Seriously, there's so much food. It's embarrassing. You say, observe craving. You're an adult, not to mention the rabbi, observe craving. I come to the supper. I said, now I'm not going to eat anything. I eat all the weekend. Don't eat anything else. Then you come and they put on the table shawarma. It's like the cheapest trick in the book. How anyone can resist it. Right, Judy? You know exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking. Fine. Anyhow, highly recommended, very important now because leave the details. I will be more involved next year, assisting them with the programming because there's a change in the personnel, and I'm going to help them more as much as I can. So I'll actually be part of the team of volunteers, at least in the programming. And Limud lives in this zone of bridging between the different communities. So I'm not looking to make them progressive. I am interested in that transition land. I just want to make sure that we, the progressive community, are represented, and I have what to hear and what to learn from the other realms of the Jewish community. And there are people I meet once a year in Limud, and they're good friends, really. Okay, that's about Limud. Now let me say a few words on the weekly parasha, Eikev. So last week it was the Va'et Hanan with the review, the second time that we hear about the 10 Commandments, and from the genre, from the point of view of the style, we are in a direct continuation. Those are big repetitions on the main commandments, which is basically out of the 613 commandments of the Torah, 200 are recited here in these few parashat. And the idea that comes back, this weaving of the idea of love of God, awe of God, and worship of God. Love of God, awe, fear of God, and worship of God in different combination. This is the main theme that comes back over and over in the book of Deuteronomy. Love of God, awe of God, worship of God, how these are relating to one another. So if I'm looking on the opening verses that say, it shall come about because you will listen to the judgment and the ordinances and keep to do them, and the because is the Ekev, due to the fact, it's a bit like the name Yaakov, something that follows. You know, Yaakov was following Esav, something that follows. It follows that Ekev, will follow the fact that you will keep the judgment and the ordinance, that the Lord your God will keep his covenant with you and his faithfulness, which he swore to your ancestors. So here comes the question of the divine promise, and is it an assurance or not? Because what sounds from the word of the Torah is that if you will keep it, it's yours. Because you will hear it, it is yours. God will keep the ordinances and the faithful manners in which he swore to your ancestors. And the question is it automatic that God will keep it or not? And what is your part in it? Comes the question of for its sake or not for its sake, lishma or lo lishma, for the sake of the Torah, or not for the sake of heaven, not for the sake of heaven. And I want to bring one rabbinic literature on that, one piece of midrash on that, and they say the following: to love the Lord your God, lest you say, I shall learn Torah, so I'll be rich. I shall learn Torah, so I'll be called a rabbi. I should learn Torah, so I would receive reward. It is therefore written to love the Lord your God. All that you do shall be out of love alone. So when it says, if you shall keep the commandment, then that's what's going to happen to you. And you can say, well, actually, I'm going to gain here. This is like a deal. I'll keep the commandments. God is going to sort me. Do not think that God is going to sort you. And if they say, if you think you're going to say, oh, let me follow the Torah because I'm going to be rich, because I'm going to be a rabbi, because I'm going to be sorted, because I'm going to be rewarded in this world, in the world to come. No, it says to love the Lord your God in all your heart, in all your mind, in all your soul, for you will live. To love the Lord your God with all your heart, in order that you may live. God sees to the heart. God is searching for the heart, and that's what counts in the end of it. Say, if you shall keep all my commandments, if you shall keep all my judgment, yes, the Lord your God will keep his covenant to you. It is a condition. It is a condition. Do not think that you are sorted just because you're ticking the boxes. This is simply not how it works. And it's not me, the Reform rabbi, saying it. It's like the master sages saying it back in the days. And I can show you in other times more resources saying the same thing. It is not for granted. God sees to the heart. Good. So when it comes to what is in the heart, God sees to the heart. One of the main things that the heart notices is when you meet the right person, and then the heart knows that you're meeting the right person, and then you'd like to live with that person for the rest of your life. Not always it's easy or lekker, but here we are, quarter of a century, a jubilee of 25 years. So I want to give those people the formal blessing. Are you ready? Come. והרצתיך לי לעולם, והרצתיך לי בצדק ובמשפט ובחסד וברחמים, והרצתיך לי באמונה, וידע את אדוני. Out of the words of the prophet Hosea, I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you to me with righteousness and with justice, with goodness and with compassion. I will betroth you to me in truth, and we will come to know God. The path of life is often unpredictable, yet 25 years ago, you pledged to one another that you would weather life challenges together, good and virtual. We cannot promise a life without hardship, but we do know that whatever obstacle you have encountered in this world, it will be more easily managed as you face them together. I see the granddaughters here as a living testament to your love, and you have established for them a firm foundation of compassion and strong ethics that will endure as your legacy. May God continue to watch over you, sheltering you by day and bringing you rest and comfort through the night. And we thank Adonai Hashem, who in love has allowed you to reach this sacred milestone. And from the Song of Songs, we say, as I said in the beginning of the service, I am from my beloved is to me. Eloheinu ve'Elokei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, bless this couple on their anniversary to their marriage. May you, Hashem, reflect with deep gratitude. May the two of you reflect with deep gratitude upon the years that have passed. Many varied have been your experience since that moment of marriage. And may you recall the joys that have sweetened your lives, and may you be thankful for the strength that allowed you to weather the storm and that shook you from time to time. God, you have been with this couple through all the years together, so may you continue to bless them with your presence in the years to come. If you can read this for us.
I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. God of all generations, we give thanks for the blessings that have graced our marriage, and we reflect upon the day of our union with thankfulness. May this joy be with us always, our way of life, loving and good, as we help each other bear burdens and share joys. Let these be years of health and contentment, of unclouded happiness in the circle of our family of loved ones, of unbroken service of love and caring to those who are near, to those who are far, and those who are near. Amen.
Amen. And let me bless you with a priestly blessing. Amen. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. סימן טוב, מזל טוב, מזל טוב, סימן טוב, סימן טוב, מזל טוב, מזל טוב, סימן טוב, סימן טוב, מזל טוב, מזל טוב, סימן טוב. Give them a round of applause. Okay. So the Golden Jubilee 2047, together with you guys, 2047. Call me, I'll come from the village. We'll slaughter a goat. Yeah. No, seriously, no. Nobody knows where the future goes in this life. You know, life is full of unpredictable things. The only thing you can trust of is that certainty of where you belong emotionally. It's the only thing that lasts in this life. And that's the only thing that counts. And you're a great example for that. Ethiopia is a great example for that. You hear me, Shiloh and Shalane? Right? The girls say yes. Brilliant. Good. Thank you. Oh, good. Kids, if you have a good time, come. We're just, Kevin Mukosa, come. Luazi, bring the girl. What's your name? Come, sweetheart, come. How was your activity? Good. Okay, what you were doing? You have to be a bit more specific. You were doing? Okay, good, brilliant. We were giving a virtual water blessing for the 25th anniversary. Yeah, come, let me give you a blessing. Then the sweets. I will trust him. Okay, fine. Good. Very over here. Come, Auntie Ruth is distributing the sweets tonight. Come. Yeah, she's your aunt, exactly. Yeah, she's down for everyone. Good. You will see a special cake table, but one of them is a special cake that Nimrod was making actually. What? Everybody was making, no. Okay, never mind. Watch the cake table, there is what to look for. Good. Okay, let's move to the Kaddish, so Serenity. Okay, the Kaddish is in 598, just be with me. So first, we mourn with the passing of Carol Alexander, the mother of David, and Rabbi Greg, and the mother-in-law of Helen, and Ondi, and the grandmother of Sam and Rachel, and the others cousins. So the funeral is on Sunday, 10 o'clock in West Park, and the prayers are in Sunday, 6 o'clock. Now, funnily enough, it's on Carroll Street in Waverly, and the address is on the bulletin. It was distributed. There's 2 unveilings coming up this week. The unveiling for Franz Key, does remember him? He's lovely and such a dignified person. In the same Sunday, 9 o'clock, and I'm doing the unveiling for Lottie Stern, those who knew her, on Monday. in 11. And then as per the yard sites, and as if the people who observing the yard site would like to come up and assist me in leading the Kaddish, and if not, it's also fine. So first Wilford Aronstam, the father of Robin, with us, Father Wolfie, Tamara Betseva, mother of Keturah, Mary Buch, mother of Moira Holtz, Doris Emdon, mother of Erica Elk Emdon, Cheryl Goldin, sister of Neville Goldin, Arthur Goodman, father of Berna Sidetsky, Thora Hortz, remembered by Judy Hortz, Samuel Jeff, fondly remembered by Stefan and Nicholas Jeff, Tyrone McLellan, father of Jael Sandler, Maurice Nathanson, father of Aubrey Nathanson, Ida Shapiro, grandmother of Aubrey Shapiro, Lily Zinger, mother of Leonard Zinger and Jody Hortz from last week, Mervyn Truckman, husband of Fatima Truckman, and Margaret Uznet, mother of Aline Midlane, Naomi Weinberg, aunt of Sally Abrams. May their memory be a blessing. If those who are holding Yotza would like to join me, if you want, if not, it's okay that you stay on the floor. 598, let us rise. May the memory be a blessing. Their memory is a blessing. 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי, והמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביום יכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל, לעגלה בזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ימומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Please be seated. We wish you all long life.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I would firstly like to extend my personal condolences to the Alexander family. And then I do want to say to you, Ruthie and Virgil, I'm very firmly of the opinion that it's important to not let significant moments go past. That there are times that we need to pause and reflect, take responsibility for, and live them with consciousness. And it would be unfortunate to let them go by without acknowledging them. So lots of respect to the two of you for doing that. And congratulations. Then I wanted to tell you, I also wanted to congratulate Wayne Sussman on a very successful limud. I wasn't there, but I've heard such wonderful things about it. And then I have two other announcements. One is that finally we had an informal opening of our shul shop last night. We served dinner to Mancom in our shul shop, and it's gorgeous. And it's going to be even more gorgeous as time goes by. And the shop has a name. The name of the shop is Tova. It's good coffee, good gifts, and good moments. It's going to be beautiful. There's a gorgeous coffee area, nice place to sit, maybe even work on your laptop, lovely place, kind of lounge area where you can sit and have coffee, meet your friends and talk. And then the stock that we're going to carry in the shop is fantastic. So very soon, we'll give you details about the formal launch, and obviously everybody's invited to that. And I have to say, Peter Hunt has done an extraordinary job of pulling the whole thing together. And my final thing is being a firm believer of not letting significant moments go by. My 60th birthday is on Tuesday, and my party is on Friday night at the shul, and everybody, and I really mean everybody, is invited to join us for the service in the shul and then dinner afterwards. For me, being 60 is a very significant moment. I've been through a couple of very hard years with some very traumatic losses. And the fact that I'm still standing and that I'm smiling and that my son is well is very important to me. So I'd love you all to join me in celebrating that, and also to join us tonight. Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom. So on the, before we move to Adon Olam, on the notion of making arrangement for due course for their golden anniversary, for their silver anniversary, in 20, what was it, 18 or 19, 18, I think. We had the 90th birthday to Les' brother, Clive. Was it 2018, 2017? Never mind, a few years back, before COVID. So I'm making arrangement. I'll actually send it to your calendar, to your 90th birthday in 2052. Your 90th birthday. Sorry? Yeah, exactly. Ask very self. Yeah, 2052. Everyone are invited. I'm going to be around. I'm going to stick around like you can't believe. You won't get rid of me. Yeah. Say, oh, Rabbi Shakel, we can't believe he's still around. Yeah, that will be your 90th birthday. We all celebrate. We'll be dancing on the table like it's 1999. I'm telling you. Good. Adon Olam, 625.
Okay, just before we start, can I invite somebody up? There's a drum waiting to be played. Will someone come and play it? It's for the Adon Olam. You just have to go boom, boom. No? Margaret, I can see you thinking about it. It's here. Right, so I think you know what we're going to be doing. Adon Olam, Hashem Alam, B'terem kol yetzir nivra, le'et nasa v'chefzo kol, azay melech shemo nikra, v'yacharei v'klot hakol, levado yimloch nora, v'hu haya, v'hu hoveh, v'hu yeh b'tivara, v'hu echad, ve'en sheni, l'am shelo le'achbira, v'li reshit, v'li tachlit, v'lo ha'oz v'hamizrach, v'hu eli, v'chai go'ali, v'tzochev li b'tzara, v'hu nisi, menet kosi b'yom ekra, v'yado t'ibruchi, ואת ישניה עירה, ועם רוחי רביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Shabbat shalom. Join us for
שבת שלום.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everybody, and long life, Neville, and everyone else to add your thanks.
Thank you, Simon.
Yes,
Have a
long
good
life, Neville.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Andrew, and Shabbat shalom, everyone in Shul.
Thank you. God
Bye.
bless.
Shabbat
Bye-bye.
shalom to you, Simon.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom, Jessica, Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And goodbye. Have a good supper. Bye.
Shabbat Shalom, Max.
That's interesting. I wonder what's different.